PodGo version 2.0 is out, and it's an amazing update because of the new cap system. We're going to do a couple of things. We're going to make sure that you don't lose any of the presets that you've so meticulously put together, and then we're going to make sure that we don't break or cause your system to glitch out because of any skipping of steps. So you do have to follow steps in the update process. Firstly, is to update the PodGo editor software. That's the most important one. And secondly, is to update the PodGo unit. Step 1, let's create a backup of presets. Under File, when you open the editor, let's create backup. Click on Create, and then you're going to let this run in the background to save everything that we have on the PodGo. It's going to be an exact duplicate. While we're waiting for this to finish, I do have a PodGo Worship Essentials pack that's on my Buy Me a Coffee page. Do check it out. I will try to update the presets to have the new cap system in place. Backup completed successfully. Let's click OK. Now this is one way to do it. You have your complete duplicate of the presets as well as your impulse responses that you have here. Now, I like to do things a little bit differently. I like to manually copy and paste the presets and the impulse responses into separate folders outside of PodGo Edit so that when I load up the new fresh factory resetted PodGo, I have a chance to reset how my preset folder looks like, because as you can tell, I'm a little bit messy. So I don't really like how my presets have been looking like. It's just been a bit of an organizational mess. Let's go and highlight all the presets that we have. I'm going to create a folder called presets. Make sure that I'm clicked here. I'm going to go back to my editor. Let me just give a bit more space. Click, hold, drag out. You can see exporting presets. Drag and release into the folder. Now let's do the same for IRs. Impulses. Click, drag, exporting impulses. And there you have it. With that out of the way, let's click on updates available, and you can see that they've decided to be very upfront. Important, you must first update PodGo Edit to the latest version before updating your PodGo firmware. Guys, don't skip this step. They've even arranged it such that your PodGo Edit is on top so that you have to update first. Click on update now, sign in, click on OK. PodGo Edit will now exit so the installer can run. Welcome to the installer. Continue, install software. All right, that's quite fast, not bad. Just to be on the safe side, click on the question mark icon and click on the About. So now it's very clear that you've updated the editor to 2.0. It is now time to update your unit. Check for updates. PodGo Wireless Firmware 2.0 update now. This is quite cool. I'm learning this for the first time. It forces you to create a backup just before the update, so I guess that's a good thing. PodGo Edit will now update your PodGo Wireless Firmware from 1.4 to 2.0. Most important steps, just let it run. Don't worry about it. Update. Rebooting device. Just in time for lunch. See you guys after this. One last thing, as stated in the release notes, let's do a factory reset. Right, the factory reset, we're going to press and hold the C and D buttons while powering up the unit, and I can't do this with one hand, so I gotta do this with two. Resetting factory presets. Resetting IRs. Oh wow. Okay, that was fast. Okay, do remember to change your global settings to how you prefer it. Most importantly, for wireless users, I think keep this at the 3 meter setting. For preferences, make sure that the tempo pitch is set to transparent and not authentic. I have this little switch here which I use for FS7.8 for snapshot up and down, so make sure that EXP2 is set to FS7.8 and that FS7.8 function is set to snapshot up and down, but you could use it for preset changing or for Stomp 7.8, which would change more parameters in your patch. Last but not least, when you first load out the factory presets, this is what you see. The front panel becomes a preset change mode for 4 presets in the bank. If you want to see snapshots instead, you have to press the up down arrow buttons at the same time to change this to snapshot mode. Let's take a look at the new cap system. Now you've got 3 options for the cab. You've got cab, which is your new cab, legacy cab, which you can tell from the legacy icon in the bottom corner, and of course the IR. Let's load up the P10R, which I'm loading up because I'm using a bassman preset right here. The way that I set up today's patch is I put a looper right in front so that I can capture my direct guitar tone that's going to be processed by, firstly, number one, clean, and then number two, true and overdrive, so that you can hear the differences when I made the shifts in the mic position, the distance, and the angle. What the new cap options open up for us is a whole new way to EQ your sound. You may not even need to use the EQ block at the end to tailor and fine-tune the sound. You can do all that just by microphone placement. So let's try this with some overdrive right now. So here are the big general tips that you can apply to microphone placement and position with the new cap system. Position refers to the X direction from the cone center all the way to the edge of the speaker. When the microphone is right in front of the speaker cone, you're getting the most amount of energy. You're also getting the most amount of sizzle and fizz in the signal. So if you want to reduce that on a bright microphone like the SM57, you can shift this toward the right hand side. My favorite default setting for the SM57 on a speaker cap like this is to have it halfway between the cone and the edge. So consider this sound. The angle at 0 and 45 degrees refers to on-axis or off-axis miking. On-axis just means that it is looking directly straight on, it's not angled at a certain way. 45 degrees is commonly known as off-axis, and off-axis mic placement will shave off a little bit more of that top end. It's going to be warmer and not as harsh. So here the difference between this. Pulling back the microphone to 3 inches and beyond captures a bit more resonance and air around the cabinet. Now compare that to what we started with at position center, distance 0, angle 0. Let's pull out a microphone which can sound very shrill without any tweaking, the 4-to-1 dynamic. It's got a lot of sizzle, but not a lot of warmth. And the way to correct that is I'm going to move this toward the middle, like say 3. I'm going to pull this back slightly and I'm going to angle it. Consider what we started with and this tone. So to quickly recap, the position changes the X direction, where in front of the cone is your most amount of energy, and as you shift away from the cone, you're going to get less energy, less bass buildup, but also a warmer, rounder sound. Distance refers to the Z direction of whether it's going to be straight in front of the cab or pulled back slightly. And the further back you go, the more air and the more presence you're going to capture around the cab. Angle changes on axis or off axis mic placement. If you still find that your sound is too brittle and there's too much top end, angle it to 45 degrees and you should have a much warmer, rounded tone. This helps you to achieve the warmth of a ribbon mic but with the clarity of a dynamic microphone with, let's say, the SM57. So a big question for you is, which microphone do you prefer to use now that you've got so much control over the new cab system? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like tone tweaking videos like this, I've got one right here where you can check out, where I take you through my entire process from start to finish on how to create a worship Sunday ready tone. See you there.